Headed straight to the top, and I don't do fictitious. Ooh.
It can get physical, yeah. It can get spiritual. Lately been walking on miracles. Lately been going my struggle. Used to get treated like a peasant. Now I just stand like a noble.
Hey, YouTubers. I love that song, y'all. I'm playing it. Y'all notice I'm playing that song before all my videos. That's my son and my niece. Your boy say he used to get treated like a peasant. Now he just stand like he noble. Okay, get in there. Okay, y'all. Today I want to bring y'all a story time. You know us girls love story times. So it's a story time on a girl that took a trip with her homegirls. And let's just get into it, y'all. Let's watch it together.
Story time on the girls' trip to Houston that went wrong. I hope y'all are ready. And if there was a Bible right here, right now, put my hand on the Bible. I'm not lying about nothing that I'm about to say. Because honestly, y'all, I thought like this one never happens to me. Like, you know, you hear stories all the time about the girls on TikTok going on these girls' trips. They falling out, they fighting, they ain't coming home as friends. It's always in Miami or in Jamaica or in Mexico. But no, y'all. Houston. I didn't even follow with nobody because they wasn't my friends, and I was trying to be respectful of my friend and not tell the story. But I'm not gonna tell it in a messy way. But I did give her permission to tell the story, so I'm gonna tell y'all. Hopefully, this don't, I don't want this to blow up only because like I just don't want it to blow up because I just want to tell. Everybody keeps asking me what happened, and I'm just gonna tell it on here, and it's gonna do whatever it does. I am nervous to tell it because I'm like, what if y'all don't agree with me? But like I can admit maybe at some parts where I was wrong, but we'll get to that. I'm gonna try to keep this in one part because nobody wants to listen to multiple parts. So honestly, we just about to jump straight into it. I was supposed to be doing skincare, but I talk with my hands. I ain't gonna be able to do skincare while I'm trying to talk to y'all. I do have screenshots, I have evidence, I have text messages to show y'all. So whatever I do have to like tag, I'm gonna tag in part two. But let's just get into it. So basically, y'all, I'm going to give code names, but I'm not giving much code names. I'm only going to give code names to the girls that I'm not cool with. But everybody else, y'all getting called by name. I'm not doing all of that because I'm going to forget. So basically, my friend Zai, we've been friends since high school. We got closer over like the past 2 years. We're adults. We relate. We're trying to do things with our life. That's my girl. We vibe on like a totally different level. Like, she's my friend. I could talk about God. We could talk about everything. And yeah, that's just my girl. So once we came back from my birthday trip in October from Atlanta, we talked about going to Houston. Keep in mind, us two plus my best friend, we were supposed to be going to Houston to apartment tour and explore and go out a little bit. So she ended up graduating from college in December of 2024, the December we just had. And originally she invited me on her girls trip to, I want to say it was Jamaica. The original trip, as far as I was concerned, was not to Houston because that was a trip that we planned to go on together by ourselves without her friends. So basically, I get a message from her. She's telling me, we're doing a girls' trip to Houston for her graduation trip. She wants me to come. And honestly, I felt like if I didn't come, I would feel bad because she took the time out to come on my birthday trip to Atlanta. Mind you, she lives in Florida. I live in South Carolina. So I'm like, I cannot miss my girls' trip. Like, I already told her I would come on her graduation trip. My best friend couldn't even come with me. But I'm like, I gotta go. Because me, I'm going to always feel bad if I don't stand on what I say. I'll be out of breath. But yeah, so I'm like, I gotta fucking go. I gotta go. I'm gonna try to not curse for real because I just cussed on accident. But I'm like, I gotta go. So I'm like, all right, cool. But then I'm like, but wait, her friends are coming. And on top of that, y'all, it was 8 of us total. 7 of them coming from Tally, where they're from. 1 of me coming from South Carolina. I'm coming by myself, and I don't know these girls. So of course I'm low-key like, oh my gosh, like should I even go? Like I don't know them. Like what if they're weird? What if they try to fight me? What if they kill me and kidnap me? Y'all know a whole bunch of shit be going on. And I think like that because I'm not gonna let nobody get over on me. Like I'm not doing that. And people are crazy. But I sucked it up. I booked my flight. I bought my clothes. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to go to Houston. I'm excited. I've never been. And I'm just like, you know what? If the girls are weird, I'm just gonna book me a flight and I'm gonna come back home. I'm gonna change my flight and I'm gonna come back home because I don't do the weirdness. I'm a straight no BS person. I don't play like that. I might be only 21, but I am grown. I handle my business. I have my own business. I am on my P's and Q's. Y'all not gonna play with me. So we in a group chat, we get added to this group chat. I'm looking at the itinerary and I'm noticing, I'm like, this itinerary, it don't look like what me and friend was talking about. All I see is club, 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 E. So it's given we finna be shaking our ass and we finna be big bags. And I'm like, this don't really look too right. Where's the activity? We were supposed to go horseback riding. We didn't do that. The only activities we did was pole dancing and we did art museum. There was supposed to be way more on there than what we actually did. I'm not a partier, but I also go along with whatever the group wants to do. It's not my trip. I can't take over. But at the same time, too, her friends took over the itinerary. And she called me like a couple weeks before we left, and she was upset because she already was just like, this is not how I'm wanting my trip to go, basically. So we texted in the group chat. We all sent pictures to introduce ourselves. I think that was really for me and Chloe, who's her other friend, who is from there, but she doesn't hang with the girls. She don't know them at all. And also her other friend, Naja, which I know Naja. She came on my birthday trip. So we always just send a picture to see how we all look, Now, I remember, which wasn't a big deal, but sometimes when I would text in the group chat, nobody would respond except Zai and maybe one other person. I can't really remember who. But I was just like, every time I'm texting, like, nobody really saying nothing. But I'm also overthinker, so I'm like, let's don't think too much into it because it's probably nothing. Which at the time, I don't think it was anything. We just don't know each other. But, whatever. So we get there. Now, mind you, I flew in, Zai and Chloe flew in. So they flew in from Florida, I flew in from South Carolina, and we all met at Houston's airport. So we get to the airport, and the rest were driving 10 plus hours because they were scared to fly. Totally understandable. Y'all were too scared to fly. That's why y'all drove 10 plus hours. Right. Okay, so they're still on the way, but we're at the airport, and automatically, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I clicked with Chloe. Like, we were in literally, y'all, throughout the whole trip. I'm like, literally, one night we was sitting there, we was talking. I'm like, girl, is you me? Because why are we saying the same thing? Like, I hope I can actually have a friendship with her because we are like, I don't know, I love her a lot. I don't really know her, but I love her. Like, she's so down to earth. Like, she's like splitting image of me, like who I am on the inside. So yeah, basically we land. I'm already like, dang, like I like Chloe. We go out to eat, and then now it's like we're supposed to be getting early check-in for our B&B. Now, mind you, check-in, of course, like everywhere else, is 4 p.m. Meaning, if we're getting 2 hours early for check-in, we're checking in at 2 p.m. Right? So she's on the phone with her friend. Sai's on the phone with her friend. She's like, yeah, we're just coming to get something to eat because we can't get into the B&B, that. And they're like, oh, you need to get your money back because why you can't check in? Like, basically, like, they trying to play you, like, you need to get your money back because why you can't check in, y'all got early check-in. I'm in the backseat like, bro, early check-in is 2 o'clock. It's literally 12 p.m. Why would we be able to get into the B&B if they literally checked out at 11? Check-in isn't until 2. So automatically, I'm like, are y'all slow? Like, I wasn't trying to be rude, but I'm also really, like, I'm a straightforward person. Like, come on, like, we got to use our brains. Obviously, we can't check in because it's not 2 o'clock. Like, what? But at the same time, too, I don't know y'all. So I'm just like, I'm sitting in the backseat, minding my business. I'm just like, whatever. This ain't even my conversation for real. It's given, I'm going to have to do 2 parts. But yeah, so basically we ended up going, we ate, and then we left there. We went to Jordan Soul Food. It was good. Then we left there. We went to Dollar Tree. Zai was straight, like, head was straight on wanting to do goodie bags for them. So we was helping her pick out stuff. And at first she wasn't going to do the goodie bags. Now, I can't really recall why she said why she wasn't going to do them. And I'm not going to really say because I don't fully know, but I knew it had something to do with her saying she knew she was going to have to pay something else on the trip because something was going to happen. She knew. So she wasn't really wanting to do goodie bags, but she decided to do them anyways because she's just like me. When we're hosting things, that's what you got to do as a host. You do shit like that. That's just how it is. You do stuff like that. Like, come on. So she buys the goodie bags, she puts everything together. We get to the B&B. It's literally a duplex, so it's house B on the left, house A on the right. We picked house B. There was 3 rooms in each house with clean beds, and they all had 2 bathrooms. So one of the girls who was riding with them from Florida, that's the girl who came on my birthday trip. So I knew her. So I said, well, Zai, so we have an even number. Bring her to this house. The 2 sisters can share a room, and the other 2 get their own room. You and Naja can share a room. Me and Chloe get our own room. It was simple. So I get in the house. We was at the dollar store. I bought spray and stuff. I'm bleaching down our toilets. I'm spraying our covers because we're gonna take a nap. Like, we done been up since 5 a.m. We only got 1 hour of sleep last night. Like, it's time to go to bed. I'm not gonna lie. So this is a long story. I'm not gonna lie. So now, it's like, okay, time to take a nap. Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know if I was asleep immediately because I was editing a TikTok vlog. So I hear bamming on the door. As soon as I'm starting to close my eyes, I'm tired. I hear And I can't really hear what they're saying, but it was giving yelling like, "Open up, like we here." So I'm like, oh, now I gotta meet these girls. Like, oh my gosh, like I was a little nervous because I've never met them before. I've never seen them. I don't know anything about them. So I'm like, okay, like it's time to meet them. So I really don't want to do too many parts, but okay. Comment part 2 for part 2 because the next part is where it's gonna get interesting. I promise. I just kind of have to give y'all a backstory. Like I said, I don't want this to be too messy, so I'm gonna try to keep it cute. You know what I'm saying? But like also, it got really messy, and it got really messy when the trip ended. When by the time we got home, they decided to bump gums. But comment part 2 for part 2, and I will post it. But I'm gonna keep it respectful because
Now if it was a messy trip, you say you're trying not to be too messy. Mom, it was a messy trip. Go ahead, tell us the mess.
Part 2 of how the girls trip went left in Houston. Hopefully it's not much of a quality switch because I had to switch phones because the receipts is on here. The receipts is on this phone. So yeah, all I hear is I remember getting a text saying they were like an hour out, and that's when I was starting to fall asleep. So I hear knocking on the door, and in my head I'm like, Zai, get up and get your friends because I'm not getting up to open the door for them. I don't know them, so you gotta go get them. So now me and Chloe, our room is in the back of the house. Zai's is more so like in the front of the hallway. We're at the back of the hallway, so keep that in mind. So I come out my room. Once I hear Zai open the door up, and I'm like, well, people are coming in here. We're laying down. Let me get up. So I get up, and I go inside the living room, and I see the first girl in the hallway. We're going to call her Blondie. So I see Blondie, and this video is no shade to any of you girls. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I'm telling the story. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all did have me messed up a few days ago, but now I don't care no more. I'm just telling it because it's my experience, and I got to share it because I didn't think it was going to happen. But yeah, anyways, back to the story.
Mom, you better know how to fight now.
See Blondie, and I'm gonna always speak. So we both said, I don't know who said hey first, but we both said hey, and I was like, hey, like, how you doing? Da-da-da. That was that. So then I walked back to my room to grab my blanket, and then I came back out, and that's when I saw another girl come in, and we're gonna call her Oreo. Now I actually was like, dang, Oreo attitude is not that good, but also over the days of the trip, I also did get to learn that she is really to herself, and she's actually cool. Like, she's actually cool. But I only said that because when she came in the door, she did not speak. And I was raised based off of when you come in somebody's house, you speak. When you come in someone else's presence, you speak. So she came in, and I had to say hi to her. And I know she saw me first. Or she just didn't say hi at all. She just walked in and just didn't say hey. So I was just like, oh, hey. And she was like, hey, really monotone. And I was like, okay, whatever. But I think she was sleeping, like I said, she's actually cool. Like, she's actually cool. She proved to be the most mature out of all of them. So, yeah, so she comes in. I ended up saying hey to her. And she ends up walking to the back of the house, and she starts looking around. And I'm like, why are you looking around when your house is over there? Mind you, they're staying in house A. Remember, we're in house B. But she's looking around, and so I walked to the back of the house, and me and Chloe just kind of look at each other like, oh, okay, like, whatever. But like I said, she's actually ended up being cool. Like, she's cool. So then, again, I walked back up to the front of the house, because I think Chloe came back up at this point. And now I see the two sisters. We're going to call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. Thing 1 is going to be the bigger sister. Thing 2 is the smaller sister. So I don't know who I saw first. I don't know if I saw Thing 1 or Thing 2 first. But off rip, I loved their energy because they were like, oh, hey, like really bubbly, really sweet, seemed really down to earth. So I'm like, oh, hey, like, how y'all doing? They're like, oh, we good. And I'm like, okay. Like, they seem cool. And they was cool. Like, after that, Oreo went over back to the other house. I think she went back to sleep, and we all went outside. Now, I don't really smoke or drink, but they were outside gardening, I think is what y'all call it on TikTok. So they outside, they doing that. And, we talking, and everybody's cool. I'm like, okay, like, this trip might be okay. Like, now I'm getting a little excited, because I'm like, okay, like, we might be good for real. So now they're like, oh, we hungry. And mind you, we already ate. But they was like, okay, y'all, let's go to Kroger. They wanted to go to Kroger, the liquor store, and they wanted to get something to eat. They wanted American Deli. I wasn't really hungry, but we're all going. They said, y'all can ride with us and let's go. Mind you, y'all can ride with us and let's go. Now, me personally, when I go out of town, I'm always flying. I'm used to Ubering everywhere I go. So this whole rental car thing, so remember, it was 4 of them that drove down. Well, 5 of them that drove down. It was an 8-car vehicle. There's 8 of us total. So they offered for us to come in the car with them. So, okay, cool. Obviously, I'm not going to Uber by myself if everybody else is going. Like, that's just kind of like, okay. So we ended up going to Kroger. American Deli was closed. So Kroger probably was like 10 minutes down the street. after Kroger, Chick-fil-A was like right there, and then we went to the liquor store. Okay, so now we're at the liquor store. I brought my own liquor. I had 2 green tea shots, a small shot of Don Julio, some on the rocks, and I had XXL wine. So I didn't even want to participate in the liquor buying. But because I was trying to be a good sport, when they said this is how much money you gotta all put in for the bottle, I just sent my money because I'm just trying to be a good sport. Although I did drink a little bit of it, but it wasn't much. But I only drank it because I didn't end up putting money in it. So now we get back to the house. I'm thinking everything's good. No, wait, am I missing something? Yeah, so we get back to the house, and now they're like, okay, I almost confused the deja. But we get back to the house, and they're like, okay, y'all, now let's everybody go change into your cheetah print pajamas and meet back in our house, I think at 11 or 12. So we get back over there, and I wasn't really drinking because honestly, I was still trying to feel the vibe out. At some points of the night, I was getting like kind of like feeling like weird looks, but at the same time too, I don't know y'all girls, so it was just kind of like I'm not trying to think too much of it, but also like I'm very much sober, so like I kind of know like how I'm feeling. But like I said, that totally could not have been the case. I'm not gonna say that because that couldn't have been the case. So I wasn't really drinking much, whatever. I'm just having fun. And then they start setting these alarms. Oh, there's something on my phone. Like it's a bug on my phone. They start setting alarms for everybody in the group had to set an alarm, and when the alarm went off is when we had to take shots. Now, I think this is where everything went downhill at because obviously they're going to get drunk. But mind you, I made me a lemon drop, so I was sipping all night. I'm not taking shots because I don't know y'all. I don't know. I'm not comfortable enough around y'all to get drunk. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm not comfortable enough. So I was very sober, actually. So now it's like, okay, so Blondie had a charger. Now, I saw the charger because she was sitting next to me the whole night. But I'm not sure it's the charger she thought it was. So Blondie had this charger that she was holding on to all night alongside some cups. So they were like stacked and they were on the floor. So now as the night is ending, they're getting tired, her phone starts to die, right? So she's like, oh, I can't find my charger. Like, I think Oreo took my charger. She's the only one who has an iPhone 16 and I have a 15. So we both have C cords. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, well, let me help you look for it. So I'm scrambling around the house. I looked in the refrigerator. I looked in the freezer. I was up in cushions. I was moving couches. I was doing everything trying to help the girl find the charger because she was mad. She was livid. And I'm like, well, dang, like she was really, really upset about this charger and accusing this girl of taking her charger. So like in the midst of us looking at stuff, they're going back and forth in the room trying to tell the girl like, hey, we think that's Oreo. We think that's Blondie's charger, like whatever the case is. She like, no, this is my charger, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up stepping outside. Now, I don't know who the 4th person was outside with me, but this was the first red flag that I picked up about this friend group. And I hope that they will, actually.
Can you see? Because based off this story you're telling, that was not the first red flag, Mom.
Oreo do know about it now because my friend told her. I step outside and I'm outside with thing 1, I think I said was the bigger one. I think. And I was outside with Blondie, right? Right? Like I said, this was the first red flag. So they're basically saying like, oh, like, I don't even know Oreo for real. We just work with her. Like, she's not really my friend. Insinuating that that's more so Zai's friend and they don't really care about her. I don't even play with her like that. Now, this is what Blondie's saying because she's mad at our friend. I don't even play with her like that. Like, I mean, just going on and on. I'm like, ooh. So in my head, I'm like, this is my first impression of y'all. And mind y'all, also, this was a second red flag. The first red flag was when we was in the car on the way to like the liquor store or something. Whatever we was on the way with. They were talking mad trash about this old friend, this old girl that they used to be friends with, who none of them are no longer cool with, but dragging her name. And I had one of my AirPods in, so I couldn't fully hear the full conversation. But I'm just like, wow, like, and in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, if Zai falls out with these girls, they are going to drag her name. These are nobody's friends. And that was the first red flag, was in the car, me hearing them talk so bad about that girl. And then now I'm on a porch and her 2 friends are talking about her. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to be messy, so I never said anything in that moment. I just kind of mentally noted it. I'm like, I see how y'all moving, and I think something bad is going to happen. My discernment already told me from jump, do not go, because I already knew it was going to be some shady mess. But I'm like, something's going to happen. So I went back inside, y'all, and I kid you not, as we're talking, like, they're literally talking about the whole charger situation. I started recording on my phone, so hold on. Now, this is more so me just kind of recording. Like, I'm just recording my face. I'm, like, low-key drunk. Like, I was about to post to my close friends, like, oh, the girls are arguing. But they weren't arguing. They were more so just speaking. But just listen.
We were charging me. Now, I don't even like duffel bags.
Oreo.
Did you walk over here with it?
Thing 1.
So I'm saying, how did that charge get appeared? That's not a charge. Jada said she said she came out here with her daddy. In the room. Okay.
So that was basically Oreo just saying she never took her charger out the wall. So basically, Blondie ended up going inside the room, snatching the charger out the wall, and Oreo gets mad and she's like, she comes out the room, storms out the room. She's gonna have to go to the store because she needs her charger, and basically she's not gonna go back and forth with the girl. More of the story, when I looked at the cords, I have an iPhone 16, 15, and 14. 16 has a different charger. The cord is riffled. Every other cord is smooth and straight on the C charger. So I was like, yeah, actually, like, and I'm like telling like, yo, that's not her charger, it's not her charger. But basically, her charger ended up being in thing 1 and thing 2 room. So basically, Oreo ended up telling Blondie that she did not like how she came. Hey y'all, part 3 of the story time, of the girls trip that went left. Now y'all gotta watch this in 2x because these are long. I told y'all I have to give y'all every single detail so y'all know I'm not tripping. I have to give every detail. I have to fully explain myself. So yeah, I'm like, oh, y'all is messy. Like I said, mind y'all, this is my first impression of y'all. Y'all is nobody friends, and I picked that up off rip. I picked up on all these girls' character, and I was like, But like I said, I'm keeping respectful because these is my friends. I don't gotta deal with these hoes when I leave. That low key gave big Lex confessionals. But yeah, so I'm like, ooh, this is messy, but I'm finna go ahead and go to sleep. It's like 2, 3 a.m. I'm tired. Like, it's time to go to bed. So we go back over to our house, and I'm showing the girls in our house the chords. And I'm like, yeah, y'all, like, high key, like, and they're like, girl, like, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that's real crazy. So then me and Chloe, I could tell me and Chloe was like low-key giving side eyes, but at the same time too, y'all, this whole trip when I was peeping little stuff, I never wanted to say anything to Chloe because I thought Chloe was close with them, but come to find out, that was her first time meeting them as well. So yeah, now we go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and I believe this morning is when we had our pole dancing class. I have to refer back to the itinerary on all, like on the story time, so I can make sure I have everything together. So basically, remember, we got a rental because, well, I don't know if I told you that part. We got a rental because we landed at 9 a.m. and we didn't have nowhere to put our bags. We needed to drive around. So we had to take our rental back to the airport. And I remember the night before, the girls were complaining because they did not want to get up. We had to return the rental at 9:30. So I ended up being able to push it back to 10:30. They did not want to get up and take us and come and meet us at the little return rental car place and bring us back to the pole dancing class. That was too much driving. They didn't want to do that. So we said, okay, cool. We'll Uber from the place to the pole dancing class. Keep that in mind. That's the time we did not ride with them. So yeah, we go to the pole dancing class. We take the car and then we get to the pole dancing class. We all go inside, we do the pole dancing, whatever. We leave out of there and now they're like, we're hungry. I told y'all their backs was big. But also on this itinerary, nobody scheduled brunch except for one day. The whole itinerary to me was messed up, but whatever. We'll talk about it another time. So yes, we get in the car and we're on the way to our restaurant. I just remember them kept saying, "Batty, batty, shot o'clock, take shots, take shots." And literally, I kid you not, the whole time on this trip, I'm like, is nobody concerned for their health? Why are we taking shots at 9 a.m.? Tequila at that. Does nobody want food on their stomach? Like, what in the world? So yeah, we ended up going to Trill Burgers after the pole dancing class. And then I remember we left there and then I look up and we're at a gas station. This is where it gets low-key messy. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know we was even going to get gas. I got my AirPod in because, honestly, I use my AirPod as comfort. It's like a kid with their blanket. I use my AirPod when I'm in big groups of people, around people I don't know. I get really anxious and nervous. I keep an AirPod in my ear. That's what I do all the time. So I have my AirPod in. I'm looking down on my phone. I think I'm editing a TikTok or something. And I remember hearing conversation in the front about gas, but it sounded like they were talking amongst themselves. So I'm not getting in y'all conversation. I wasn't addressed. Nobody said Lexi and Chloe, are y'all helping pay for gas? Nobody said that. So I'm in my phone minding my business. So I hear them saying something about something. I'm not paying y'all no attention. Like I said, I wasn't addressed. So we get back home and I'm going to tell y'all the message we got. I found it. So thing 2 says, and she's just so shady, like, but she's like, but this wasn't shady, but it also was like passive aggressive. But hold on, let me just read it. So if we're more than likely going to use our renter for the weekend, is there any way y'all can put in? Our money rotation is a little F now, and just to be fair. So we see that, and we like, huh? So then that's when Zai texted, or she called her and told her to come over to our house. I wish I recorded this because I was also vlogging on my YouTube channel. I was always vlogging when I was eating. This is the one time my camera wasn't out. She comes over there and she's like, yeah, and mind you, she's trying to make it seem like she doesn't feel some type of way, but the other girls feel some type of way, right? She's like, yeah, so the girls, they just feel some type of way because they are upset that y'all didn't at least offer to put in gas. Like, y'all was riding with us yesterday and today, and y'all didn't offer no gas money, and y'all heard us talking about it, and y'all ignored us, this and that. And I'm like, we ignored y'all. And I was like, I didn't even hear y'all say anything. We weren't addressed. And so Chloe was like, if y'all wanted gas money, or if y'all basically was upset about something, why y'all just didn't say that? Like, why didn't y'all just ask for the gas money while we was in the car, instead of y'all feeling some type of way, going home, discussing it, having attitudes and being weird, then send you over here. Now now she's over here trying to play peacemaker, right? So that's when I'm like, now here is how I felt about it, and I still feel like I'm not wrong for feeling this way. So that's when I'm like, well, I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, y'all are trying to say y'all are on half of a tank, right? Which was $40. They wanted us to put 40. Make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Hopefully, let's see if y'all agree with me or not. Y'all want us to put $40, and money is not an issue, but y'all want us to put $40 into half a tank when we only drove with y'all to Kroger, everything in one area, 10 minutes down the street, that one day, and then back home from the pole dancing class. We probably only rode about maybe $5-10 of gas in that car. I know that for a fact. So, and that's what I'm telling her. I was like, now from today forward, from us riding with y'all from the, the pole dancing class and, the rest of the trip, because we will be riding with y'all. Now we can fill up before y'all leave, or the next time y'all go to get gas. Yes, we will put in, because y'all are filling up a tank that y'all rode on. That's why y'all on half a tank. And so she's like, basically, she's really not trying to hear none of that. So we like, okay, you know what? We can see you the money. It's not that big of a deal. Money is never going to be an issue with Alexis Simone. We can see you the money. She's like, no, don't worry about sending the money. Just send it to us whenever we go to fill up before we leave, right? That's what she said, right? So I'm assuming she went back over to the other house and made it seem like we wasn't going to pay no money. It gives what happened after we left is given she went over there and tried to make it seem like we said we wasn't going to pay. But that was never the case. We literally told her we would have given her the money right then and there, but she said, don't worry about it. She is messy. I'm not going to lie. She's really messy. So yeah, that happens. And so when she leaves out, they like, oh, Lexi, you okay? Now, one thing about me, I'm going to say my piece and I'm going to leave you where you had me effed up at. So I'm like, they're like, oh, Lexi, like, you quiet, you okay? And I'm like, I'm good. But I just feel like that was really weird. The energy, she was like literally throwing passive aggressive energy. Like, you can tell when somebody is trying to play peacemaker, but they're the ones with the actual issue. And that's what it was given. I'm not no dummy. I done dealt with people like this before. But I'm like, you know what? It's cool. Like, whenever it's time to give the money, we'll give the money. It's not that big of a deal. So now it's time to go out. We had dinner reservations at Prey at 9:30. They wanted to leave the house at 8:30. So I remember when we was at Churro Burgers earlier in the day, we're discussing how dinner is going to go. I personally said we should Uber to dinner and Uber to the lounge, because why are we all riding in this truck and y'all are supposed to be drinking? I don't ride with people who are drinking. I do not like that. And also I was saying that because clearly y'all had an issue with us riding in the car with y'all. So they're like, no, why would we Uber and we have a car? Like, we'll Uber tomorrow when we're actually going to be drinking, but tonight we'll drive. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But the whole issue was that they didn't want to come home to change from dinner to club fits, because they're wearing what they're wearing to dinner to the club. Now, let me read y'all something. On the itinerary, grown and sexy attire, heels, platform, wedges only. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. I gave grown, sexy attire because it's a dinner. You don't wear streetwear to a dinner. You don't wear club wear to a dinner. You come looking like a Barbie doll or a Bratz doll. You look up to par for a dinner. Yes, everybody has different styles, but there's a certain way you're supposed to carry yourself when it comes to classy dinners. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. That's why they didn't have to change, because they was wearing the same outfit. And that's no shade, but I'm just saying that ties along. So, whatever the case is, we all ended up going back home. We changed, and now we don't have to be to the next club. We don't have to be to the club until 2 a.m. I'm a granny. So I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to take me a nap. So me and Chloe, we ended up falling asleep, and then they woke us up before it was time to go. So now we get in a car, and we drive to the first club. And I'm gonna just tell this part quick. We drive to the first club. It was apparently $800 to get a section. We left there, went to this other club. It was a gay club. I have no problem with gay people, but it was a male gay club. Outside, nothing but niggas. who are gay. I personally told them I'm not gonna be comfortable going in there. There's no females. I do not want to go in there. We left that club, went to another club. They was fighting at that club, so we was like, we don't want to go there. We went into another club, and that club was dead. So now some of them started to get an attitude because they're like, well, we don't want to go home. Like we want to be out to the sun come up, baby. It's 4 a.m. Y'all messed up this itinerary to the point where we have to be up at 9 o'clock because we have reservations at 11. Y'all don't know how to plan a trip. I'm like, they like, well, what do y'all want to do? And I literally sat there and I told them, don't ask me because I'm gonna tell y'all we need to go home and go to sleep. It's 4 a.m. Why are we still out? We literally have to be up. We have reservations in the morning. I think we should go home. But based off of a group decision, I will go with whatever the and I feel like this story is getting long. We're 30 minutes in. 30 minutes. But I do want to tell the story, so let's get into it. And like I'm gonna keep saying, I'm not trying to be messy. I did watch it back. And I'm like, my tone is given. I'm trying to be messy, but I'm simply trying to tell my experience because it was an experience for sure. So now, we drive around. They will obviously want to stay out. I'm telling them, like, it's up to y'all, but I think we should go home. So we came to the group decision. Let's just go home. We could try again tomorrow. We literally have a section tomorrow, so it'll be fine tomorrow. So now we get home. We all go lay down, take a shower, do whatever. Ooh, hold on. So we had reservations at Prospect Park at 1 p.m. They wanted to leave the house between 11:30 and 12 p.m. So we get there, and actually, I woke up and I felt so sick. I think it was because our house was stuffy, and I just woke up with like a sinus headache, and I just had like a little migraine. So I wasn't really too much feeling it, but I'm not a party pooper. Let's go have fun. So of course, I'm all the way in the back row again, and now we pull up to the restaurant. And when we got in the restaurant originally, or it's like outside, they took us to a further back booth where it was a little smaller and it was far away from the crowd. So they ended up moving us up, right? So at Prospect Park, it was like two tables here and one long bench. So one party here, one party here. Well, everybody did not fit. Our whole group did not fit at the one table. So me and Naja was low-key hanging off, literally in between the two tables, no table in front of us. And the other table's right here. Naja could low-key fit, but I'm off to the side. So their whole friend group was sitting down. Then it was just me and Naja just kind of sitting off to the side. She was able to fit, but they're like, oh, get the table and move it closer. Now, this is really no big deal, but I'm going to add it in because I feel like I want to add it in. They're like, oh, scoot the table up, scoot the table up. So I'm struggling trying to move the table. Naja ends up getting up, helping me to pull the table closer. But even then, it's not one of the tables where we're sitting across from each other. We're literally sitting like this. So the whole time at the restaurant, I feel like they might have thought, like, because I even texted me asking me what was wrong. Nothing was wrong, but literally, y'all, I could hear no conversation. There was loud music blasting. So I couldn't hear no conversation. Like, I'm sitting literally like on the other side, like literally on the other side. I can't hear anything that they're talking about because conversation was really happening on that end. So I couldn't hear anything. So I just really wasn't participating in conversations. I was editing a TikTok vlog, honestly. It was no big deal to me. I'm just like, cool, whatever. So we leave there and then we end up going to the art museum. That was cool. I didn't really pick up no weird vibes there. And then we left the art museum and we went back home. Now this is where things kind of got interesting for me. So we get back home, and I remember earlier that morning I was trying to spray my even spray, but it wasn't spraying. So I kept saying I needed to go to the hair store. Also, I needed to get some eye drops from Walgreens because my eye was red from my bottom lashes. But when we were on the way to the airport the day before to drop the car off, we didn't have time because we were running late. So we weren't able to stop by Walgreens. So I was like, either I was going to Uber there or I was going to, ask if we can go when we was out. But after the whole gas situation happened, I honestly didn't want to trouble them by asking them to make any extra stop because I didn't really like the energy. And that was just me honestly like not being sure like, how they were really feeling. And I was just like, I'm good, like I'll figure it out. So we get back home and I'm telling them like, yeah, like I think I'm gonna change my hair to this style. It was me, Chloe, Zai, and Thing Two on the porch, and we were talking. And so I was like, oh, Thing Two, do you have a wax stick? She was like, yeah, you can use it. I'm like, okay, cool. She was like, do you want it now? And I was like, well, no, I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna do my hair. I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit. She was like, okay, cool, because we didn't have to be getting ready till like 8 o'clock, I think. So 8 o'clock rolls around and I'm starting to get ready. Well, actually, hold on, I skipped the part. Zai ended up telling me, oh, Lexi, we're still on the porch. They're about to go to the hair store. Do you want to go with them? I was going to go with them because I needed stuff, but I said no because, for one, I did not want to ride with Thing 2 and Blondie by myself because I don't know them, and because I got weird vibes from Thing 2, and I just don't really know what they're on. And also, if Zai or Chloe wasn't coming with me, I did not want to go by myself. So honestly, I said, oh no, like I'm good. I found what I was looking for. I just need the wax stick. And I ended up actually door dashing from Sally's and Target to get my eye drops. I needed some hair stuff, and I spent like 70 something dollars. totally by choice. But like I said, money ain't no issue. So yeah, basically I laid down, DoorDash my stuff, took a nap, woke up, all my stuff was on the porch. I grabbed it and now I'm texting. I'm like, hey, are y'all done with the wax stick? Can I use it? No response. So like a few minutes goes by, it's like 15 minutes. And I'm like, dang, like I'm a hairstylist. I could do my hair without a wax stick. Like I was just doing some little buns and keeping it straight in the back. I don't need a wax stick. I got this in the back. I can do this in my sleep. So I ended up sitting down, trying to hot comb my hair, getting it together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm vlogging. Where's my camera? And I'm like, wait, my camera was in my purse. Where's my purse? I can't find my purse. Looking all around the house, tossing them upside down. Mind you, like I said, I was putting it on the whole entire trip. I had like 6 different purses. Every outfit had a new bag. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm like, oh wait, I hope my purse is in the car and I didn't leave it in an art museum. So I texted in a group chat and I said, hey, can someone unlock the truck? I need to look for my purse. Every time I'm around them, they're on their phone, right? But nobody responded to me. And like 45 minutes had went by, and I'm low-key getting more and more irritated as I'm doing my hair. So I'm like, I know y'all see me texting. Nobody responded. So I was like, Zai, please call your friends and ask them to unlock the truck. Please unlock this truck. So she calls, and maybe like 5 minutes later, they unlock the truck. I get my purse, and I low-key had a slight attitude, but I got over it like really quick. Cause I'm like, you know what? Maybe they didn't see my text, but it's 4 y'all in that house. Somebody saw it. Like whatever, though, whatever. So I ended up finished getting ready, and now it's time to head out, and they wanted to take shots. So I go over to their house. We're like, okay, we fit the pregame. I think I took one of my what you call it, on the rock shots, but like I said, I'm not drinking heavy around y'all because I don't know y'all. So yeah, we ended up getting to the lounge. I had sent an Uber for us. They sent an Uber for their house. Well, Zai called an Uber, and then they sent one. So now we get to the lounge, and it was just a whole bunch of BS happening with that. They booked through a promoter versus a the bottle girl or the actual people inside the club. I don't know how it works, but they didn't book technically through the right person. So they put us in a section in the very back, away from everybody. Couldn't see nothing. We were sitting on these tables that had my whole butt vibrating because we were right by the DJ booth. Mad uncomfortable. So of course everybody's kind of annoyed, but really the two sisters were annoyed because they were the ones that booked it. So they're up there trying to figure everything out, whatever the case is. We end up getting moved to another section that still barely fits everyone. We just had to sit at the top. It was whatever. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just enjoying my time. I pulled my 2 green tea shots out my bag. Me and Chloe both took one, and that was that. So now everybody's like, oh my gosh, Lexi, order a hookah, ask for hookah, ask for hookah. So I'm like, okay. Now, the same day prior, or earlier that day when we went to Prospect Park, they also ordered a hookah. I didn't smoke it. I told them I didn't want one. But we also ended up splitting checks 8 ways even. But like I said, I'm going with the flow. Whatever y'all want to do, we'll do it. So now we're at the club, and the guy brings over the hookah. Y'all can't sit here and tell me that nobody thought to say, oh, well, how much is the hookah? Nobody thought to ask. How did y'all think we got the hookah? Y'all thought that we got it for free? Like, I didn't really understand that part. So because when he brought the hookah and nobody pulled out their card, nobody pulled out their phone to tap it, I paid for it. It's $40. I'm used to like taking care of things, like everybody takes turns taking care of something. I took care of the hookah, which nobody took care of taking care of everything, but I'm just saying, I took care of the hookah. It's only $40, not that big of a deal. So I get the hookah or whatever. Nobody offers to pay for it except the girls who's in my house that was gonna smoke the hookah. Zai and Chloe. Naja's not smoking the hookah. They were the only two that offered. Keep that in mind. So now, we're there all night. We end up leaving. Well, actually, I look across and I see Oreo. She's literally like swaying and doing this on a third. I didn't recall any of her friends checking up on her, but I kept asking her, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And apparently also while we were in there, I didn't peep, but Chloe peeped that there was weird vibes coming from thing 1 and thing 2 and Blondie. But I don't really know. I didn't see it, but I wouldn't be surprised. So we get outside, and I ordered the Uber from my house. That Uber was like $60. So mind you, I already spent $40 for everyone on the hookah. Now I'm about to spend $6 on an Uber. My house was going to refund me for it. They were going to put their part in. Keep that in mind. But this is no issue that Blondie and Oreo ended up riding with us. But it didn't matter to me. Y'all can ride. It does not matter. But they also didn't offer to pay for the Uber. Keep that in mind, because it's seeming that they're thinking that money is the issue, but y'all didn't offer to pay for the hookah, nor did y'all offer to pay to tag along in the Uber. But money is not an issue for me, so it doesn't matter. If y'all ready to go back, let's go. Get in the Uber. I didn't offer y'all for money because it's not a requirement. I mean, I didn't say, can y'all pay, because it wasn't a requirement for me. So now we get back to the house. We all order pizza. We eat in. Everything seems to be cool. But I already made up in my mind that the next day I'm not going to Sunday Fun Day. I'm not drinking. I'm tired of drinking. We didn't explore the city at all. So I'm kind of annoyed. I'm like, I really want some apartment tour out here. So me and Chloe, we talked that night, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find some apartment tours. I ended up finding 5 the next morning when I woke up. I purposely did not get up on time. I was up, but I did not want to go to brunch because we've been drinking this whole time. We have done nothing but drink, 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 drink. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't do that at home. I don't want to do that here. Yes, it's spring break, but we also have not seen the city. Like, we haven't seen the city. Like, stay tuned for part 5, and that's the final part. Welcome to the final part of this story time because grandma's getting tired. It's 9:27, babes. It's time to
Grandma sure getting tired.
go to sleep. So this is gonna be the final part. We're gonna make it do what it do. So yes. So now it's the next morning. I'm not trying to go to brunch. Everybody else was asleep anyway, so I just didn't respond. I could have responded and said, "Yeah, I'm up," but some thing one just asked if we were up, and only one person responded. I think Naja responded and said she just woke up. And so I texted the girls in the house with me, and I was like, "Hey y'all, I want to go do apartment tours. Me and Chloe. This is the time I want to go. If y'all want to go, let me know, and I'll order the Uber. The Uber will be here before 1 o'clock. The first tour was at 1. Obviously, 8 girls are not going to tour apartments. Too many girls, and being that I just no, it was too many girls. So, and that wasn't me being shady by not inviting y'all on an apartment tour. Like, that was something I wanted to do. That was kind of personal for me anyway. So I invited the girls I was in the house with. And anyways, I'll tell y'all why it was good. We didn't invite them anyways. So now I was like, okay, Zai, I want to do these apartment tours. I called her in my room and I was like, but I feel like we should do something with the girls. So I'm like, who downstairs in my house? It's my dog. But I'm like, there's an escape room, 6:50 p.m., $44 a person. Let's do an escape room and let's go tour the city with them. Ask them if they want to come. I tried to include them. So Zai sent the escape room or whatever. It took them an hour to respond. They responded when we left at like 12:40-ish. We're in the car. And thing one text, she's like, me personally, something about she don't want to do the escape room. She doesn't have any casual clothes. So we can go ahead and do it if we want to do it, but she doesn't want to do it. Her sister emphasized it. So y'all had no intention on doing anything casual. Y'all just wanted to party. You literally said y'all didn't have chill clothes. So that's why we just left because nobody responded to the first message and we honestly had to get somewhere by a certain time. So we like, okay, cool, whatever. I didn't respond, but Naja did say, oh no. So she says that. And then like an hour later, she texts back and she's like, oh wow. So y'all wasn't gonna tell nobody y'all left? And then the sister texted back was like, oh man, or oh no, something like that. And I didn't respond, but Naja was like, we did ask, Zai asked about the escape room, but nobody responded. Because that was the truth. We asked if y'all wanted to go out, and y'all said no, because y'all didn't have casual clothes. Like, what were we supposed to do in that moment? Why did y'all only bring casual clothes when Zaya literally told us to bring 2 casual outfits? Like, come on, bro. So we doing apartment tours or whatever. They don't want to go to the escape room. So we didn't come back to like 7 p.m. Mind you, Zaya was sending text messages in the group chat. She sent the instructions for the Airbnb host, like saying, how to leave the house. She also was asking questions because apparently your chair was broken. And really nobody was responding except 2 of them, really, which was everybody but the sister. I don't really recall anybody else responding in the group chat to any of Zai messages. So basically, we didn't see them or hear from them the entire day. And mind you, we're right next to each other. We're in the house. Nobody came over. Nobody's really texting. No, we're outside on the front porch. Nobody is saying anything. It was just weird vibes. And so I'm like, what is going on? Like, but like, I don't really care. Y'all are not my friends. But then we get a text. Well, Zai got a text from thing 2 that says, can you send the money for the gas? Or can y'all send the money for the gas? Something like that. So high key, now I'm getting irritated because y'all don't show face all day. Now all of a sudden y'all asking about money. Which yes, we did say we was gonna give y'all money, but in my head I'm like, I'm not giving y'all nothing. Y'all attitude is nasty. That might have been wrong, but y'all not getting my money. Y'all attitude is nasty. Like what? So I'm loud. I don't know if they heard me. Clearly they didn't hear me because maybe they would have came over if they heard me say what I said. But I was just like, y'all hoes. I was like, I'm trying to say what I was saying because in a moment I was like low key irritated. I was just like, y'all not getting my money. Y'all gonna have to come get it back in black. Because I was irritated because like what are y'all talking about? Like what? Like, and on top of that too, like it was just a lot going on. It was just a lot going on. So does that justify it? Not really. If I say I'm gonna give you your money, I probably should have gave it to y'all, but y'all attitude was nasty, so now y'all not getting no money from me. That's where my mind is at. So I say all of that. Zaya honestly starts crying because she's like, her trip didn't go the way she wanted it to go. She also was crying about other things, but it was just like, she wanted her trip to go a certain way. She felt like her itinerary was taken over. She didn't get to see the city. So she's at this point, she's just not happy. So I don't know really what went on with the rest of that text message, but we ended up all going to sleep. We stayed up for a little bit. We talked. We went to sleep. Now it's time for me to get on my flight. I'm calling Zai, making sure y'all up because y'all got to check out 11. She calls and says that the Airbnb host is charging her $150 for the broke chair in the other house. She's telling me how they left the house. They left their goodie bags. They left some trash bags in the room. It was just a whole lot of stuff that they left that they shouldn't have left it in that way, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, like what in the world? Like that's crazy. So I'm like, well, call me when y'all land. Da-da-da. So at this point, I'm home. It's like 8 p.m. and I get a text message in the group chat. This is where it gets messy. So I get a text message in the group chat, and basically, hold on, I'm out of breath. So this text message is from Oreo. Oreo is not really confrontational. She says, hey y'all, we're about to return the truck. Can you guys please send $12 each so we can fill it up? Naja says, okay. Thing one says, not you, boo. She said, you're good. This message was for Chloe, Lex, and Zai. And so I'm like, ooh, okay. So now Zai's telling them she can't send anything right now because, the charge on her card, she's not sending them no money. She got to figure out this $150. Mind you, I'm on the phone with them. Zai's really upset. Which in return, I'm upset because there was already side conversations. And thing one said she's not paying for the broke chair. So why are y'all in here asking me about $12 when y'all got a $150 tab y'all got to pay for y'all damages? So her sister, thing two, is like shaking my head. And Chloe questioned it because what do you mean shaking my head? And I said, shaking my head. I'll drop the messages in another video if y'all want. And so now Blondie enters the chat and she's like, okay, Zaya, understand your part, ... What about everyone else paying something, ? This has been brought up and nobody sent me anything. Attitude. So one thing about me, I'm going to return exactly what you're giving to me because y'all not finna play with me. Y'all not getting my money, and that's just that on that. So like I said, I can take accountability because maybe I should have sent their money, but y'all not getting my money. Your attitude was nasty. Sorry. So I said, yeah, y'all not getting... y'all not getting my money. Who helped for the hookah? And hello to y'all too. Because like I said, bad vibes, bad energy. We didn't hear from them all day. And so the sister just says, y'all weird. This is the bigger one. And so now they acted confused, like, oh, who paid for the hookah? Y'all could have been said something and we could have handled it that night. Or we could have handled this before we left. And I said, girl, did I see y'all yesterday? We in a group chat, we're next door. So now they low-key, like, they texting back to back. I'm talking about myself. I'm like, hold up now. Like, y'all not gonna gang up on me. Like, hold up. So now Chloe enters the chat and she was like, y'all ain't responded all yesterday. And this, that, and the third. And I was like, well, why would I text in the same group chat? I got ignored it. Because mind y'all, they ignored me the day before when I was asking about the hot home, my purse, and all that. So now, little sister says, you wouldn't have gotten ignored if you asked for some money for some we all smoke boo. Basically, she's trying to say you wouldn't have got ignored if you asked about sending money for something we all smoke. Right. And then she was like, well, y'all just called me in the B&B saying if y'all wanted something that if we wanted something, we should have just asked. And I said, you're saying that, but yet you texted Zai last night asking about the money when you could have came over. So now this is where it hits the fan. Because I said that, she's like, oh, I wasn't home. And Zai, you're weird for that because why is your friend telling me this? That. Mind you, Zai is driving. Now, Zai did say wait until I could say something in the group chat, but she was taking too long. And I was just like, no. Because I watched how they low-key bullied that girl and talking about that girl. These girls are bullies and they think that they can say whatever they want to say and gang up on people and you gonna let that rock. I'm not from Tally, so y'all not finna do me like that. I might be small, but y'all not finna play with me. I don't play them type of games. So now the sister's like, I said what I said, the little sister, and she used the group chat. So they trying to, play peacemaker, like all this over $12. What's her name? Sorry, girl. Oreo is like, all this over $12. Like, she's trying to peacemaker stuff. Thing one is like, if y'all ain't have the money, just say that, because that's what it's given. So you know how to send a voice message, because don't play with me. So basically, I'm explaining, the gas situation on why we didn't put in the first day, but we told your sister we would put it in, but now that y'all started acting weird, that's why y'all not getting my money. I'm explaining that, and I'm telling them, like, I'm not from where y'all from, but y'all not gonna play with me. I don't do them type of games, that. I'm telling them. So I'm like telling them, I got the hookah because y'all asked for it. I didn't mind paying for it. It wasn't that big deal. But basically, y'all in here talking about some $12 when y'all owe $150. So what's really cheap? So they're like, nobody told you to pay for it. Basically, like, we was gonna help you pay for it. And I'm telling them, like, y'all didn't help pay for it, though, but it wasn't no problem. You saw him. We all was right there. Nobody pulled their card out at the end of the day. So what are we talking about? So here go the sister, then one, still talking out her neck. And when you write it in someone else's shit that you did not pay a dime for, common courtesy is to offer money. I understand where you're coming from, but did your sister not tell you we did offer the money? We told her we would have been paid it, but she said don't worry about it. But on top of that, like I said, y'all not getting my money because y'all are being weird. Y'all attitude is nasty. And why are we talking about $12 when y'all still have to pay $150 that you said you wasn't paying for? Y'all trying to deflect. We're not doing that. Pay my friend her $150 and you can get your gas money. Welcome to the final part of this story time because grandma's getting tired. It's 9:27, babes. It's time to go to sleep. So this is gonna be the final part. We're gonna make it do what it do. So yes, so now it's the next morning. I'm not trying to go to brunch. Everybody else was asleep anyway, so I just didn't respond. I could have responded and said, yeah, I'm up, but some thing one just asked if we were up, and only one person.
Finally. Yeah. Red flags was all around this trip. So I probably would have never even went in it. Next time you seem little mature. So the next time if you're gonna go on a trip, go with me and my homegirls or go with somebody that's old because we're not gonna be with people on the trip that's stealing charges. We're not gonna be with people on the trip that don't automatically say, hey, what's my part? Put their share in because that's how me and my homegirls rocking. We're not playing no childish little girl ass games. We're just not doing that. Okay, YouTubers, I'm tired now. I'm tired. This was a messy trip. So yeah. Until next time, stay woke, YouTube. Stay woke. Just stay woke.